Hey guys, what's up? It's AB Trades. We're going to discuss the top stocks to watch for tomorrow being Wednesday. So same thing that happened yesterday, we happened today in SPY. I thought that trading these earnings, these tech earnings, the FANG stock earnings would be fun this week, but it has not been so far Monday and Tuesday. As you can see here, we had this run up through December, and now that we're pushing into these tech earnings, all we're starting to see here is back and forth indecision. Nothing but range-bound days, nothing to trade except for your range-bound strategies for SPY and for other stocks. Again, some stocks are soaring, some stocks are doing great, but overall the market as a whole is just in this range-bound and indecisive type zone here between 266 and 262. So again, I guess we may find out with Apple earnings tonight. But just an overview is that we're consolidating in between 267 and 262. So this is our level. We're looking for one of these tech stocks. Maybe it's Apple in the morning, maybe it's McDonald's, maybe it's, well, McDonald's is not a tech stock, but it's one, but it's a bigger stock. One of these stocks, GE, who knows? That's way too low. But you know what I mean. We're looking for these stocks to make a move, driving SPY either to the upside or to the downside, causing the rest of the market to go that way. Right now, it looks almost like it's setting up for a triangle pattern almost, where you have this push to the downside, one bottom, two highs, two bottoms, and now the volume is consolidating here. The volume's coming down with a previous trend to the upside. It looks like there's room to break out to the upside, but again, no one knows for sure. We're going to wait and test these zones in between 267 and 262 and wait to see what goes on from there on SPY. Let's take a look at it at the 15-minute just so we get a better view here. If you can see here, we pushed up, we consolidated at this point when we broke above. Now we're starting to form these lower highs and these higher lows. We're consolidating into this point. We're waiting for something to happen. Let's look at the first stock going based off earnings releases. I just posted that in the group chat linked below so that we can look at the earnings. So the first one after close is Apple. So if we can see Apple, we definitely shot up here to the 264 resistance that we've had in the past, all the way up to 164.91. This is a really good move. This is something that we're expecting, or well, not expecting, but something that we're glad to see. Apple makes up 2% of SPY, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it makes up about 2% of the S&P 500 index. Because it's doing that, with this huge break to the upside out of this range-bound trash that we've been having the past week, we may see some upward momentum to SPY. So when you're looking at trading these big earnings, like the ones that we're coming up with Amazon and Netflix and all these earnings, trade SPY as your avenue to trade them. Because when you trade options on an earnings, because of implied volatility, you almost always lose. So just be aware of that unless you're a net seller. But we can see here on Apple, we push up to 164. We can definitely see that there's some consolidation here between this area between 161 and 162. So if we see it start to consolidate in this 161, 162 region, maybe even come back to test these lows of 158, and then we can see some continuation to the upside. Let's test out and let's see what we're looking at on the daily here. Again, you can't see the daily, but we're up to 164 right here. So this is where the stock's current price is. This is good. This is reversing our downtrend that we've had all the rest of the end of last year of 2018. We're starting to actually push above and test these new levels. This is great. If we get rejected here and we start pushing down, that's bad. The market is going to fall. We're more likely to be in a bear market. But if we break above 164, we break above 170, and we stair-step our way up, we are good. No fear for a recession, no nothing. However, if we get rejected at 164 and we start going below 150 and 145, better watch out. All right, next one that reported after earnings would be AMD. Again, we can't see it on here, so let's go down to the 15-minute real quick. Also a green reporting. That's good. We had some support at around $19, the whole number of resistance, and now we're pushing to the upside. It looks like we're consolidating, and it looks like it wants more upside, which is good. We did not hold this trend line. We kind of broke it, but then we pushed above it. So because of that, I'm going to remove this drawing. This was no longer valid, but these support zones are valid. So if you can see here, the support here at around 19 is valid. That's where it bounced out from, and this high is also valid. You can see here, that's the high that we're pushing into at the moment. We want to see it test this high and either break above to a new high or start to consolidate down. Again, AMD has previously run higher, so let's see exactly how much room we have either way. So we are at this range here that we tested. Again, when you're looking at the daily, it doesn't show exactly where it is until open. So remember, AMD is currently right here at around 21. So if we look at that, if we look at a long-term time frame here, we have upside potential all the way up to 24 in the long run. So if we can get up here and start making highs above this of 22, then we can slowly make our way up to 24 and maybe even make our way up to 34 in the hype time of AMD, when AMD was the hot stock. Again, most likely not. We'll see a push up here. We're already at 21, maybe even to 22, and then get rejected is my guess, just because we have so much resistance and overhead here, and I don't think earnings can really turn this around. But again, it's really going to depend on SPY if we can get up there. Let's see, is there anything else that reported after hours today? Let's see, eBay also reported. Let's just take a look at this again. I don't trade eBay lots. Let's quickly check these. They have weeklies. That's good. Volume probably larger than usual because of the expected move. But that means people are going to need to exit their trades tomorrow on options. So that means we should see some fairly liquid options contracts on Apple tomorrow. It looks like we're range bound here, and not Apple, but on eBay. It looks like we're pretty range bound here between here and this high, so let's watch out for that. Again, all the excitement may have happened already, and we may not do much with it. But outside of that, eBay would be the next one to watch out for. Again, tomorrow, earnings tomorrow in the morning. It looks like we're looking at BABA. I really don't like BABA. I mean, it moves great. I just personally don't like the spread on the options. It doesn't leave much to make profit off of. But if you can see here, we're pushing up into 160. This 160 will be crucial. If we push up through earnings up to the upside and we hold above 160 during pre-market, then we have room up to the upside. If we push down, you can see that we have room all the way down to 132. So just watch out for that on BABA. Let's see, Boeing also, BA is going to report some earnings. It looks like we've actually been making this triangle pattern here, setting the solid high and pushing up slowly but surely, making these higher lows. So if this breakout does confirm and the earnings goes up, then we'll be great. If not, maybe see a pullback here and maybe go up. I don't know. We'll see with Boeing to the upside. Again, Boeing is also one of those that I classify like BABA. I don't like it, but the options are liquid, so you can trade it if you'd like. McDonald's, nothing much happening from McDonald's. It's not really a big mover in the past unless something crazy happens. But again, I know that it has options and it's usually decently well. The spread's about 11 cents, so I'd watch out on that. Not really something that's going to be good to trade. Now, what we're really going to be looking at is the stocks that have earnings tomorrow after close, because with IV increasing, it's just going to make for a great trade. So I'm so excited for tomorrow because we have Facebook closing and releasing earnings tomorrow after the close. That is great because I love the way Facebook trades. Fairly cheap contracts as well as a tight spread. So if we can catch a trend caused by Apple, if the earnings from Apple can cause a trend in SPY, it will cause Facebook to move, and then we'll see some IV increases. The option prices will increase in general. In addition to trading with the trend, then we can see a move on Facebook and easily make over 100% tomorrow if the market's not range bound again. Facebook is definitely my top watch for tomorrow, so you'll see that in pre-market notes, especially if you're part of the premium chat. But again, if not, it's completely fine. I'll still be available to chat. So Facebook is definitely on watch here with the lows of 143 and highs of 150. We'll watch that, especially as we try to break above this 146 zone and see what happens from there. Tesla also reports, Microsoft reports. I'm going to talk about Microsoft because we have a lot of people trading that. So again, the same thing with Facebook. We're going to have an IV increase. That's increasing options prices. So trade with the trend and you should be fine. Again, it looks like we're dipping down here to this 102 level. Maybe it's setting up for a low so it has room to push to the upside. Again, not too sure. I just know that 108 is a super strong resistance. If you can look here, you can get above it here and here, and then we've just been dropping since. So just watch out for that on Microsoft. It looks like we're trying to push up, but again, we have resistance at 105, 108 and support at 102. So just watch out for that on Microsoft. What else? We have Tesla. Always a fun stock to trade, right? It looks like we're range bound here, so just watch for the break above that. We're forming these higher lows, almost like a triangle pattern, looking for room to the upside, at least for tomorrow. Upside looks like there's room, especially on SPY, caused by Apple, PayPal, PYPL, I believe. It looks like we have room. We're trending to the upside. That's also reporting earnings. We have a lot of earnings that's going to report after market close tomorrow. QCOM, always a fun trade there. I think this is Qualcomm, yes. Whatever. All right, now let's go on to the stocks. Sorry it took so long, but I really wanted to cover those earnings that the people requested. If I have not covered it already, then I'll cover it. So it looks like the first one said AMD. Looks like we're buying calls. Again, watch out. The move may have been to the upside already, and there's not much to do now. We already covered AMD. We covered Apple. V, have not covered V yet. That's for, what is that? Let's see. That is Visa. That makes sense. Visa is always a good one to trade for options. Let's see, who posted that? Betsy. Oh, nice to see you again. So you also posted about Tilray, BABA, BFE, QQQ. So it looks like we discussed BABA, Apple, and AMD already. So let's discuss Verizon first. So Verizon was trading range bound in between 136. As you can see here, we've had support all the way across through 136. And then we had a resistance here at 140, 139 that was really holding it down. We're starting to break below this. We even broke down and tested that support, and now we're breaking lower. So there's nothing more but a downtrend here that we're watching on Visa. So watch out for that. Again, now let's check out the options. I don't trade Visa much, but let's look and just make sure. So the options volume is fairly decent. The spread is what we're going to look at now. The spread is only about 3 cents, 5 cents. All right, the spread's not that bad considering other stocks we've looked at. So this is actually a good stock to trade. Again, if you want to catch the highs, the lows, and that, it's a pretty good stock. Let's see what else we got. We have, you said Tilray is what you wanted. Let's see, Tilray is just a hot stock in general. As you can see back here, we shot up and we started to decline here. I think the move with Tilray is over, but again, you can't say that with volume coming into stocks like this. When volume comes in, expect movement. So that's all I'm going to say about Tilray. If you see the volume starting to pick up, then I would start to trade Tilray. As you can see here, when volume picked up, we had this huge move. When volume picked up here, we had huge moves. Just in general, looking at the smaller times, when we had the volume pick up, we shot up. When we had volume, we shot up. Volume shot up. So just make sure you're watching that volume on Tilray. That's going to be very important to trade. Now we covered BABA already, so let's cover PFE. Let's look at the trade tab. Again, decent options volume and a 4-cent spread. Nice, nice, nice. I love seeing people recommend stocks like that. Looks like we have this huge bounce off earnings, and we're pushing into this zone here at around $41. Again, we have room to the upside if we can break above this 140.25 zone right here. We have room all the way up to 42. So again, just watch that, and I would use 40.52 as your support as you're trading PFE. QQQs, it's going to be the same thing as SPY. What I discussed on SPY will be the same thing about the Qs. It looks like, we're trading range bound here. We're getting squeezed into a corner, and that's really going to be determined by the tech stocks, Facebook, Apple, and what they do coming up. Somebody said GE. GE, we're also going to be looking at. You can see here, I forget when the earnings are on GE, or if they've already happened. Let's see. We've had this dip here, consolidation. We're kind of squeezing into this corner. We've really been testing with this $9 resistance, which I'm very proud of for GE, because we've been getting rejected at GE a lot. Back about a few months ago, GE, I would always call it out in the Sunday Stock Talk around here as short GE if it pops up short. But actually, I'm not in favor of puts on GE right now, because if you can see here, this $9 resistance had a drop below, and then it came up here and we shorted GE at the break of $9, but it's actually holding this $9 level now, which is very impressive for GE. So I'm looking for a break above to make new highs to get to actually $11, which is a surprise because I'm always put biased on GE. But if we can break above these new highs and start setting it, then with earnings coming up, I think it's very possible to get up to $11. If not, earnings would be trash because the fundamentals of this stock are trash. then we'll see a retracement back down to $6. Again, GE contract are so much fun. They're priced at around 20 cents a contract, maybe even lower, and you can get up to about a 1,000% move depending on the move, right? Like an easy 100%. I see people making that in the group on GE all the time. Apple covered, people talking about Apple calls. Again, be careful with your calls. SQQQ, that's going to be the same thing as the Qs, but in reverse, I think. AMD, Apple, AMD, Square. Oh, Square, let's talk about that. Square was actually on watch today, but we didn't, at least I personally didn't get it. If you can see here, let's look at the 15-minute. It was on watch. I was looking for the break below 72. Sadly, it broke below 72, I think, like right at market open, so I didn't have time to get in, but then it looks like we had a nice sell-off. I know we had someone in the group chat trade SQ all the way down here based on this triangle pattern, holding below VWAP, trading it all the way down to, we called this support at 69.20, bounced there, they added some more contracts in here, got in here, and then I think they got out around here. I don't know. We had a few people in the premium group chat trade SQ, and that is a good. But now that doesn't really matter. Let's look at what's going to happen tomorrow, or what we think is going to happen tomorrow. You can see here we consolidate at the end of the day around $68, which is actually higher than the previous low, which is good. That means we're still in an uptrend. That means we have room all the way up to $78, even 80. So watch out for it slowly to recover back up to the upside, because again, we are holding this little uptrend here, and we are holding these supports. So just watch out for that, meaning that Square can actually get up to the upside tomorrow. BAMU, MU by I Am Yummy. You have a funny handle name, but let's cover MU. 39, break down to the downside. It looks like we want some more downside here. We pushed up, but we're not really there. Again, there's a lot of consolidation at this point at around $38. $38 is definitely a strong point for MU, whether it's a break to the upside or downside. I just think in general, watch out for that 38 level and watch out for this high. Microsoft and NVIDIA. NVIDIA was definitely a big runner Monday, but let's look at NVIDIA now. That's what it was. I guess the earnings were today? No, I didn't even look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA is just one of those stocks like BABA that I really don't like to trade. If we can come here and we can look at the spreads, 10-cent spread, 10-cent spread, 10-cent spread. I just personally like to trade things with like a 5-cent spread or lower, SPY 1-cent spread, you know, stuff like that. But again, if it's your cup of tea and you can trade it, go for it. There's definitely a lot of money to be made in these stocks right here if you can read it right. Let's look at the daily time frame just to understand more. If you can see here, we dropped. We're kind of pushing near this support, which is not good. We have this gap to fill that we never filled, but it looks like we're still holding this downtrend. So it looks like our next low that we're going to test is this 124.46 level. Watch out on NVIDIA for a slow retracement back down to this level here. Maybe a bounce up near to around here to hold that descending trend line and squeeze into this triangle. So watch out, long-term play in between 150 and a support of 124.50. So again, that's the Sunday Stock Talk. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you want me to review your stocks, please join that Discord link below. Free chat, free access to me. Let's kill the markets tomorrow.